Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to season 2, episode 10 of the Multi-Life podcast. Remember to go follow our Instagram at multilife.pod. We're trying to post more stuff and stay connected with our followers there. So, yeah, go follow us. And now we're going to go around and say hello.
What's up, guys? Anthony. Excited for episode 10, double digit episode. Even though I
Whoa.
guess we started at 0, so I guess last episode was technically 10 of season 2, but whatever. I'm
Uh,
1-0. Let's go. Hey guys, I'm Anthony.
Good morning, it's Garrett. Plain and simple this morning.
Hi, I'm Melissa Ann.
And hello, I'm Spencer.
Oh, man. It's a month for releases, huh?
I know. This is crazy. This is so
Yeah.
stacked.
Man, like the last couple, is it always this way in summer? Like, does everyone have their summer release?
I feel like it. Like summer bops.
Well, without further ado, let's just get into it then. So just as a reminder for our listeners, we rate our songs K1 through K5, with K1 being dislikable and K5 being repeatable.
All right, we're gonna start off strong with my alt group ENHYPEN with their song "Bad Desire" or with or without you. Um, I remember I had this whole rant written up when it first came out, but now that it's been some time, I've come to peace with the song. I think I was mostly just upset about how short it was. It just seemed like in the moment it felt a little bit incomplete or just lazy writing, but as always, it's in hyphen, so of course it's going to be K5 at some point, and so it's reached K5 for me. Very repeatable. And I guess like I don't know if I had to nitpick, because I feel like because I'm an Hypen fan, I'm more critical of what they release because I'm like I just want the best for them.
Right.
And so if I nitpick, it's just the length of the song. I felt like they used too much of the background vocals instead of like a pure harmony. They used like a vocoder kind of effect throughout the whole song, and so it made everybody sound a little bit muffled or like just wow 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 kind of effect. So I didn't
Yeah.
like that. I wish it was just like I understood it stylistically for some parts, but they kept like every single person singing, they had that in the background, and it just I don't know, it just took away from showing off their amazing vocals, which they've really really improved over time. And I didn't like the lyric, "Yeah, you got that," because it goes into oh, so it's like you got that oh, like what does that mean? Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that oh, oh, okay. What does oh mean? Why do I have it? Like I'm confused.
It's all about the vibes. It's not always about the meanings,
Yeah.
Melissa Ann. You're
Yeah.
thinking too much into it.
And you know why I started to nitpick on that is because I was listening to NCT Dream's Boom, and the lyric is, "Yeah,
You
you
got that
got that boom, boom,
I.
boom, boom, boom."
Sorry.
No, so it's like you got that boom. Like to me, that makes more sense than you got
Right.
that oh, whatever.
Oh.
So, but overall, great song. Bring me back to like Justin Timberlake Mirrors, which is a comparison
hmm
people have been making a lot. Justin Bieber as
Yeah, I bet you would have
well.
liked it if it was Mirrors, because then you would have like an 8-minute long song.
Yeah, maybe not that
I always
long.
forget that song is that long. At least because I have it. That's like I think one of the only Justin Timberlake songs I have liked on my Spotify.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, every time I listen to it, I get like 5 minutes in, and we're at like the second chorus. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
so back to like old school boy band vibes, which I think is a good next step for their sound. The music video I thought was really really cool. I'm not sure if it's the best music video to show a new fan because there was a lot of movement and they didn't really stay on each member's face very long. So it's kind of hard to point out like, oh, that's this member, this member. It was just like a lot of drone shots, a lot of the like robotic camera shots where it's like zero, zero, zero. Um, a lot of CGI, which was really, really cool. Um, I don't know. Y'all should go read my rant that I wrote in the actual post in our server. It was so long, but now I've calmed down, so I'm enjoying the song.
That's good. I thought it was funny that ENHYPEN's in their JYP era, the ENHYPEN whisper.
Yeah.
I
That's
also
that's the
wrote,
first time they've done like a shout
yeah,
out. So
yeah, that's why I was. Well, I guess I didn't know that because I haven't listened to every single ENHYPEN song, but like it was the first time I noticed it
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
title
yeah.
track, so I presumed that it was the first time they did. Also, it just feels like this MV like ENHYPEN's just like horny posting on main. It's like kind of what it feels like. Like I'm like I don't know. It's just like I'm getting whispers in my ear. I'm like Nikki is like biting his neck, his like own neck, and he's like licking his lips at me, and I'm like. I'm like the melody is simple and it's catchy and I don't think I'm the target audience.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
know.
my
It was just
gosh.
really funny. I was just like the whole opening thing when homie's like just whispering in my ear for the first like
Yeah.
25 seconds. I was just like I don't. It was just I had like an ironic enjoyment out of it, I guess. But by the end, I was just like, wow, yeah, okay. Like I'm primed for something. I don't know. I gave it a K3. I think that the melody, yeah, like I said, the melody's simple. It's catchy. Definitely easy to sing along to the song. But yeah, I think just the messaging is not necessarily where I was not in the writer's room, their minds, you know what I mean? But anyway.
I gave the song a K4.5. I
Let's
really enjoyed the music
go.
video, and I thought the lyrics were good. And I literally have on my notes that it reminded me of like Justin Bieber and other artists. Like it brought me back to the
Ooh.
2010 era.
Yes.
I do agree with Anthony though that the beginning was kind of cringy with a few
It's a little
sentences,
cringy.
and the eyes were just staring at you like I don't know. They weren't even that pleasing, I guess.
It's like, bro, your eyes weren't even that cool, okay? Like,
But I do recommend the entire album. I
Yes.
really my favorite was Outside. I don't know if that was your
Yes,
kind of
yes.
that's your style, Melissa Ann, because
It
that was my
is.
favorite.
Yeah.
So
That one is my
uh,
favorite B-side as well.
that was I think that one's definitely gonna go in my top 10 for the year. I
Wow, and
almost say
Hyphen
with
and Garrett's
certainty.
top 10.
That was really good. I really enjoyed it.
We be outside.
Nice. Well, I guess I'm kind of on the same boat as like Anthony, where I kind of like rated it a K3. It was all right. I mean, I don't know. I think I guess, was it considered like an album or, yeah, an album? Like as a whole, I thought it was like kind of all right. I liked Flashover, I think the best, and I think Loose was still my favorite. Like
Mm.
even though it was a pre-release English single, I guess. So, yeah, I didn't have many thoughts for this other than it was kind of all right. All the songs were like super short, like
Yeah.
2 minutes, 20 seconds, and 2 minutes. So,
before we know it, we're just gonna get albums full of like minute-long songs that are just
yeah.
like it's just 6 different like TikTok audio snippets, just like
The
this is
dance
all it
challenge
is.
part.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the song is the dance challenge.
Yeah, the music shows and stuff are just gonna start. It's just gonna have the groups like line up, and they're just gonna go out, do their dance challenge, leave, line up, do their dance challenge, leave. Like, yeah, that's it. gotta get churning them out.
Maybe it's because people's attention span is just like only a
I don't
minute
think it's a
long
maybe.
with
I think that
reels.
just is the case. I think that younger people probably, I mean, just people in general probably. That's probably how it's trending. I just deleted Instagram yesterday.
Oh, you
So
did?
yeah, so hopefully
Oh, I sent you a
uh
reel.
yeah, well, you know, I'll get to it when I get to it.
No, I'm just joking. Don't go
Yeah.
back. Don't go back.
I was like, I'm like, maybe I'll, for exactly that reason, like, I do talk to quite a few people on Instagram through the messaging, so I'm like,
Right.
I'll probably log in on, like, my browser or
Oh
something every
yeah, yeah,
once in a
yeah.
while just
Yeah.
to message people, but
Yeah.
in terms of, like, I've had it deleted for, like, less than a day. I still just, every time I'm leaving my messaging app, every time I like open my phone, my muscle memory is click this folder, click on where Instagram was, which now takes
Wow.
me to Twitter, which I mean I could delete that too, but I don't go on Twitter like ever. So but yeah, the entire reasoning, or not the entire reasoning, but like one of the reasonings behind this is definitely that it the short form content has been, I feel like, plaguing my brain, and that I should engage in a bit more long form, not even long form, literally just like even like a 15-minute YouTube video is better than
Mm-hmm.
just sitting there and scrolling through reels for 15 minutes. But anyway, so I don't even remember why I got on that topic.
We're just talking about short attention
Yeah.
spans.
Yeah.
Also, I
Um
think it gives them more streams because you have to loop it
oh
more
yeah.
often in the same amount of time. So then that ups your streams. Also, I was reading how apparently now some songs are starting with the chorus because they get paid for listener retention within the first 15 to 30 seconds or something like that. So people are actually changing the structure of songs based on how streaming culture has evolved and payment for streams has evolved, which is really, really interesting.
That is interesting.
Didn't Spencer talk about like earlier with like season one how like they've been doing this now for almost like a couple years now. They're moving the chorus closer and closer to the beginning. But that's crazy now that they've changed it to like more monetary gains in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
I mean, and I guess it makes sense because I mean, you know, if the entire reason that you're listening to the song is to hear the chorus or whatever, then
Yeah.
people aren't going to want to have to skip 40 seconds in to get to their favorite part. So, I mean, it makes sense from a marketing perspective, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So an interesting trend for sure. Okay, moving on to the second song by my girls.
Speaking of choruses,
Nice.
Yeah, I literally. So I know you're. Sorry, there was a little mosquito. Melissa Ann, I know you wrote in your notes that I saw that it felt very repetitive,
Yeah.
and I timed the like girls will be girls, or like
Yeah.
how many times it's literally like 55 seconds of the song and they're saying girls will be girls, which is like a third of the song.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like, and that's specifically when they're like doing the like blah, blah, blah. Like it's not just like, oh, I counted all the choruses, or it's like specifically when they're doing girls will be girls or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
Jesus, man, what are you doing?
It's Nikki trying to talk in your
The
ear.
first thing, yeah, real. The first thing I wrote was that this form of drone warfare is somehow scarier. Maybe that's a privileged take, but like I'm like, that's kind of insane. Could you imagine you're like driving through or whatever, you got a literal flock of birds just dive bombing you? That like no thanks. Anyway, I think like a K 3.5, I guess, for this song. It's catchy, but I agree with you, Melissa Ann, that it is just the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And just because I don't rate it super highly doesn't mean that I'm not going to sit there and be like, girls with me, because that happens to me so much where I'm just like, I don't like this song, or like this song is okay, but it still gets stuck in my head. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people misconstrue that as like, oh, bro, you said you don't even like the song and you're singing the song. It's like, dude, I know, and I hate it. It's like it's like kind of how I started with Gnarly, and then like obviously we talked about how that kind of character arc of the song went, but I don't know. I feel like this song is not as clearly dislikable as other songs, that it's not as antagonizing of a song
Like Sneakers,
as
maybe?
other. Yeah, that's that kind of reaction of that song I don't anticipate from
Mm-hmm.
this song by people who listen to ITZY. But I also don't feel like it's doing anything. I mean, I say it isn't doing anything new. I actually liked the dance break. The dance break was pretty cool.
That was cool.
I obviously like that Yeji's in the center. And so yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's literally, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm getting anything super new. I didn't love the little like vocal trail that that Chaeryeong and Leah kept doing at the end of the first chorus or the bridge or whenever it was. I can't remember the melody to be able to sing it now, but anyway, the B sides were good. At least the ones I listened to were good, maybe better. But still I felt fairly were underwhelming compared to Born to Be's B-sides.
Mhm.
But anyway, that's I feel like it was okay. It was a fine release. I definitely like the outfits and the images and stuff that they were releasing, so I'll probably get I'm not probably, I literally have like every ITZY album, so I'm probably just gonna get it anyway. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Is it the part where it's like na 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 na?
No, it's man. Here, you can. Someone start their thoughts. I'm gonna go on a little treasure hunt.
Okay.
I can go ahead. I have like a few thoughts. Um, I thought the album wasn't, or like the EP wasn't bad itself, but I don't think Girls Will Be Girls was like a good title track. I thought Kiss and Tell was like nearly like around K4 for me. Like I thought it was like perfect runway music for some reason. Um, when I was watching the music video for this, I was like, damn, this would make for a great like introduction or like to a movie or like a short film. Because you know they like in the music video you're not just hearing the music, like you're also hearing the sound effects from like the performance that they're doing. Like you're hearing the car engine going, you're hearing the car door slam, and I'm just like, this isn't a music video to me. This feels like a short film almost. um and the whole like drone thing and running around and trying to avoid it gives me like Alan Walker, or yeah, Alan Walker music video from like 2015 when he released like Faded or whatever. um but I think the main reason why I wasn't a big fan of this song, like to be honest, I think I'd rate it a K too. Like I'd listen to it and I thought it was fine, but I would never put this in like a playlist to have it. Like even if it popped up, I feel like it'd be kind of awkward. Just feels like a, I don't know. I feel like the I'm talking more negatively than I view it, but these are my notes. I think the main reason why I don't like the song is just like the simple riser sound that they go for like every time before they sing the chorus or like during the chorus.
Uh huh.
Um, but yeah, I just think Kiss and Tell was the best, and they should have made that the title track. So, but yeah.
I found the portion.
Okay.
It's like it's just it's whenever they're ending the thing with whoa, whoa,
Oh.
whoa. They do it like 3 times and then do it a 4th time, and I'm like, okay, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought it was kind of funny because I watched these music videos in order, and it was kind of interesting to go from ENHYPEN's kind of dystopian
Yeah.
to like ITZY also dystopian kind of
Yeah.
feel. It was just like very cinematic feeling, so it kind of flowed
Well,
together.
I went from getting seduced to feeling like I was gonna die. So that was a fun transition for sure.
I feel like I would have liked this song better had I not read a singular Reddit comment that said, "It sounds like they're saying girls wooby girls."
Girls, wooby, girls, wooby, girls,
And
wooby.
like WOOBY, And ever since I read that comment, it's just ruined it for me. So now that's all I hear. And I feel like I hear the chorus. I'm glad you broke it down scientifically because I was like, I feel like this song is more chorus than anything else ever, which is like kind of weird. Like I've never experienced that before. Um, and I don't know, when I heard the song was gonna be Girls Will Be Girls, I thought it was gonna be a very different concept. I thought it was gonna be like, I know it's a play on Boys Will Be Boys, and so I thought it was gonna be very like girl power, like almost kind of like a Dalla Dalla kind of callback, that kind of energy. But now it was just like what you said, like kind of scary and like avoiding death, and I'm like, I don't know if that's I don't want to experience
Girls will be
that.
girls.
I know, I'm like
Avoiding impending doom.
I know, like as a girl, I'm like, I don't this doesn't make me feel like comfortable to like relate with, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It felt very not relatable when I thought it was going to be very like, yes, like I want to get on board with this message too, you know? So I felt like it was a lost opportunity there. I'm trying to think what else. I thought it was interesting how they were kind of inspired by like, I don't know if you've seen those like biblically accurate angel, like with
Oh,
the
yeah.
eye and the
Yeah,
wings.
yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool how they use that imagery because I haven't seen a K-pop group use a biblically accurate angel, so that definitely like made it also kind of like scarier for me because I do believe in the Bible, so it was just like, whoa, like this is looks so real. Like,
It's the rapture.
yeah, it's kind of scary. So, anyways, those were my thoughts. I would rate it a K3 if I hadn't said that already.
Well, my notes are gonna be pretty repetitive, like this song. Y'all pretty much hit the nail on the coffin with all of these.
Not the nail on the coffin.
Nail on the head.
You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the coffin. That's true.
Well, isn't nail in the coffin like a
It
It is
is
the
the
same.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the final nail in the coffin it means like the final straw or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you hit the nail on the head, meaning like you got it right. It was on the nose. Like you got it exactly correct. They're different
well,
phrases.
it's still a nail, so
It's still a nail. Hey man, you cooked. It could be the final. You hit the nail on the head to nail the nail in the coffin. You could,
Mhm.
think about that.
hmm I tried listening to the album with Spencer when we were driving, but I think I was talking too much, so I didn't really get to listen to them.
Certified
And-
yapper.
And none of them really stood out. And the only thing in the music video that I liked was one I forgot which one, but it was whoever was driving the Jeep and swiped it on two wheels was pretty fire.
Do y'all, when y'all are listening to like, do y'all ever just like you're doing something or whatever and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna put on a new EP or whatever in the background.
Yeah.
I'll just listen to it. And as you're doing so, like sometimes this is usually how I tell if a song is good, is that I'll be just doing something else or whatever. And if the song is playing and I like my brain just like, oh, what is this song or whatever, then I'm like, okay, it's like at least a K4, surely,
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
reaction I'm having. And that happens quite often, I feel like, because I mean, I I feel like my attention span, as we were talking about before, is very short or whatever. I'm just like, or maybe just because of the nature of how things pop into my head or whatever, I'm constantly like moving directions or whatever. So I may put on an EP and be listening to it and then like, oh, I need to Google this. And I like Google look something
Yeah.
up or whatever. And then I get absorbed in that. And then 5 minutes later, well, what's this song? Like, oh, I'm listening to the new album. Yeah. Anyway.
So Garrett is saying he didn't have one of those moments, I guess, where he
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Unfortunate.
And then the only thing is, I don't know if y'all ever watched like the Birds movie. It's like a old like horror movie about birds attacking humans, basically.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so scary.
And like one of the well, I don't know if I should say it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. But like one of the famous scenes in that movie is they show a picture of like I think a grandma, basically with her like eyes plucked out and like a bunch of like pecks from birds for like 2 to 3 seconds. And it's just her laying like against the wall being pecked to
Oh.
death.
My gosh.
Anyways,
You
you
know what
can
they say, man. Girls will be girls.
It's like that scene in the movie just goes like girls will be girls.
I'll have to find that clip and we can make a reel out of it.
No,
Oh
I do
God,
not
no.
want to.
Yeah.
Please, no, no.
You could make that on your personal IG, bro.
Yeah, we're not
That's
gonna
so
do that.
funny.
I gave the song a K3 though. But, yeah, pretty average.
All right,
On to our
Spencer.
next song, right? Kiss of Life, Lips Hit Hips Kiss. Um, to be honest, this was a really repeatable song for me. Like I listened to it initially and I was like, oh, K3. And then I listened to it again and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe K4 is like as high as it'll get. It sounds really good, but I don't think it's like K5 tier yet. And then I listened to it again and I watched the music video last night. I'm like, damn, this is literally K5.
Oh,
Uh I was just like, damn, the way that they sound is so good. And I was kind of like looking back at my notes for their songs like in the past. And I think it was episode 0 or pilot episode when we reviewed Bad News by Kiss of Life. And I was and I noticed that one of my notes had said, "Damn, the vocals are so clean, like they sound so good." And they're the instrumental is not what like dictates the song. Like you're listening to Kiss of Life for them, and I realized that I wrote the same exact point for the song is damn dude, they sound phenomenal. Like I'm not even listen to the music at this point, which I feel like is how I typically rate songs, is it if the instrumental complements their vocals well, then that's what makes a great song. But here I just want kind of a cappella group at this point. Um I thought the lyricism and like their flow was amazing. And then, dare I kind of want to compare them to Mamamoo, um, in terms of just like vocals dominating the sound. Like when I think of that, I typically think of that group, and all of them are now. I mean, they all have like their solo career now, but I can definitely imagine that kind of case going for this group, like after group activities if they wanted to. Um, but in terms of the like fourth mini album, I thought it was good. Probably nothing spectacular, but I did rate Slide also a K5. Um, this was like a perfect summer mini album. But I would love to have more of a summer vibe, like summer mini album. If this song Slide was paired with Sticky, and then like a whole kind of more like tropical feel to that mini album. So, but yeah, I think my favorite part of Slide was the slight pause after they slide, and then they go with the soft, uh, like kind of high pitched through. So it's like slide and then they pause and then they go, woo. But yeah. So I thought this was amazing. But yeah, I can't stop raving about it as you can tell. But yeah, K5 for Hips Kiss title track.
All right, Twin. What is the Twin think?
What is the twin thing?
What is the Twin think?
I gave it K4, but I think along with Spencer, after watching the MV and with the girls, they are stunning and like the scenery is like top tier. I really enjoyed the the view, I guess. Uh, and the lyrics after I read them boosted it quite a bit. I definitely think this song will be a top contender, and I think it's a possibility that it can be K5. And I know we've reviewed this group for a while. Not for a while, but they've been out for kind of a while now. I realize I need to pick a bias for this group. I don't even have
ooh.
a bias yet, so I'll have to do some research and see which one I like.
You should go with Hano. She's my bias, and she's really cool.
I can't think of Hana without thinking of that one clip where she's wearing the hat that says family disappointment.
Oh, in the sticky, yes.
She's like, oh, what is, like, because like Belle and Julia, so they're like, oh, why does it say that? And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, what, like, what is it? And they're like, they tell her, they translate it like "가문의 실망," and she just instantly like, oh god, yeah, this song was fine. I like their R&B style, and then also "Tell Me" on the album is like, I like that for the same reason I like "Te Quiero." It's the same kind of like Latin inspired, like classical guitar instrumental. I know we're not a drama podcast, so I'm not going to speak on this, but I can't listen to this group without associating it with the current situation, like regardless of, you know, any opinions on the matter. I also find K-Bye as outrageously ironic to release given the current state. Like I haven't been looking at a ton of discourse on Kiss of Life or whatever, but I haven't seen anyone talk about that. But it's like, it was so like, when I heard the chorus, I haven't listened past that of the song, because I'm like, you don't like me? That why? And it's like, I'm like, that is like outrageously tone deaf given the entire state of things. I'm genuinely baffled that they like included that in the release, because it does not have a good look any way that you spin it or whatever. Like, I don't know. And that's the same kind of thing where it's like any Kiss of Life content that I'm getting on my social media feeds or whatever, I don't like, I don't find myself focusing on the content or like, I go to the comments and see if people are still mad, or if like, and it feels like now it's more of a mixed bag, but like, I don't know. And I'm not a part of the, and I'm not part of the affected like community or whatever. So I'm not, I don't have a stake in this or anything, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's still, the situation's still very clear in my mind, and I don't feel like I can have a like normal enjoyment of this group like I did before, given the current atmosphere and sentiment towards the group. That's just how I'm feeling in general. But like the K-Bye thing was like genuinely astonishing to me. Like I don't know. I haven't been able to reconcile that in my mind. Like, I don't know how many people had to be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, it was so clearly obvious to the first second that I heard the song. Anyway.
Yeah. I rated this song a K2. I feel like it didn't really have that same oomph as like, I think my favorite, it just felt kind of bland and not as impactful as other releases they've had. What is the one that has like the Britney Spears kind of vibe? What is it called? Don't ya?
Yeah, that one. Sherlock has a suggestion.
What is that? What is that one?
Midas Touch.
Yes. Midas Touch. Like, that stands out to me because the music video is colorful. Every member has like just multiple like solo sets and shots and like showcasing each of their voices, and this one just felt so bland. And like, I know the theme is like a mental hospital, but I don't know, it's just like, I would not show this to like my I always want to like every music video to be something I could show people and like be proud and not embarrassed by it.
That's why I like showing aespa to people.
Yeah,
aespa has very stunning and like iconic, very like thematic music videos.
Yes.
And they have experimental sound that I think people can like it's different, and it's not something that a lot of people will have heard. So not only are they getting this like technologic kind of like, you know, unique sound, but also they're getting struck by the visual, again, thematic visuals, like drama with the red and black color palette, Whiplash being very like white background, quick shots, like very simple black outfits. Like these are, I know they're all like very intentionally constructed, and so I share that sentiment that I like sharing MVs that are well made.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't really have that many thoughts. And I think just the whole situation around it, again, like, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but like, no matter how you feel, going to the comments is just depressing because there isn't that excitement anymore about this group. So it's just like, whatever.
My favorite comment was when they said, finally a K-pop song longer than 2 minutes, though. So that was one good thing.
True.
All right, moving on to the next seductive song on this list is Lemon Drop by ATEEZ.
The boys are out here. Like, boys will be boys. You know, that's what...
I really enjoyed the song. When I first listened to it, I gave it a K3, but then when I watched the music video and the lyrics, I thought it was like way better, so I pretty much have it at like a K4 right now.
Nice.
I think the beginning of the music video is the best part, a little steamy. But when they switched to like mechanics and then like after the rest for the music video, I didn't really care too much. So like only like the first like 30 seconds is good, in my opinion. But yeah, K4, maybe K4.25. I want to keep listening to it though. That's pretty good. Not all at once, guys and girls.
Yeah, go ahead, Spencer.
I mean, mine's fairly quick. All I put was like fan service ? And then I put everything is good except the chorus. It just feels a little bland and not as exciting as the verses. But I do say I think my favorite piece of the, or I guess my favorite song is Masterpiece, from the album. So, and then it was so funny because I was watching the lyric video for it and everybody was just like, "Oh my gosh, dude, the lyrics." So, but I mean, I liked it. I thought it was, a good title for the piece, Masterpiece. So, yeah, I don't have too much thought on Lemon Drop other than, wow, it's a good music video. So,
my thoughts were also pretty short. I just said I like the club vibes. Like I feel like this is a good clubbing song. And a lot of music videos fall into the pit of having this like random block of the music video where they're gonna like tell the story or they're gonna do something or whatever. They cut the music out, and I'm like, stop. I'm like, I get it. I understand it's like artistic meaning or whatever. I want to listen to the freaking song. To that point, I liked the short underwater audio effect when he fell into the pool.
Yeah.
It stayed for like a second and a half, and then it went back to the normal. So, like, that's a cool addition to the music video that gives it a like unique reason to visit that more than just listening to the song on Spotify or on it like streaming or whatever. Like, it is a good artistic addition to that specific medium that doesn't affect the song's enjoyment. In fact, it positively impacted the song's enjoyment for me because it was just a really cool effect that helped tell the story, and then it was gone, and you're back listening to the song. And I think that's how it should be. K4.
Oh, K4. Okay.
K4. Yeah. Good
K4.
clubbing song. Good clubbing song. Would be in a clubbing playlist for sure.
Okay, I want to be quick here because we have a really cool today's topic. K5, like I'm not an ATEEZ fan, but like, okay, they came out with a movie. I think it's like a concert movie where you could go watch one of their concerts in the theaters, and at the end of the credits, they played part of Lemon Drop. Nobody knew what it was. But everybody was like, okay, I think this is a teaser for their next song. And I would literally look up like ATEEZ teaser, or I don't know what I would Google, but it's literally somebody at the movie theater filming.
Just a bootleg.
Yes,
like,
bootleg.
Yeah.
And I would listen to it over and over again. The da 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 da, like the distorted sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to it over and over again. I would keep searching it on YouTube, and I was like, I know this section of the song, like this little motif is so good. I had a feel. That's why I like chose it to be on today's review, because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna like it a lot. Just the fact from me repeating that bootleg somebody filming at the theater. And it turned out to be true. I was a little bit, I agree, I was a little bit thrown off by how chill the chorus was, and I was expecting Lemon Drop to be like the kind of like lyrically to not start off with Lemon Drop. I thought it would be like something 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 Lemon Drop, and then like go into like an actual drop or something. But they just say lemon drop, da da. So I'm like, okay, that was a little bit different than what I expected. But honestly, like the verses were just so good. The different raps, like I like still
Yeah.
it sounds different every single time I listen to it, because like the chorus is short and not that often, but there's like a lot of different verses and raps and variations of the verses going on. So it's just like so much to process, and like every listen sounds different to me so far. And the music video is probably one of the best K-pop music videos I've ever watched in my entire life. Like,
That's
it's
high
just
praise.
so perfect for the mood of the song, and like showing off. Like, I will always want music videos to show each member very clearly so that you can like point them out to people watching them for the first time. And it does. Like there's like way more solo shots than actual choreography shots. So I'm actually kind of hoping they come out with a choreography music video, because we didn't get to actually see much of them performing. But all the different scenes, like in the laundromat, all the theme of them like being hot and sweaty. Sorry, that sounded
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah. What about that theme, Melissa Ann? What were you watching?
And like for some reason, the most impactful scene. There were so many impactful scenes. I was just like, they look so good. But the one that got me the most, and like sometimes I like write little like song lyrics that I think are like very memorable, and I'm still like thinking of how to write a song lyric about this, because it was just so impactful for me. Was like Songhwa having that white shirt, and he reaches through his shirt, and it's like an Alexander Wang shirt, and I don't know, it's just like I feel like there's some rap lyric that could be made something about that, just like something something Alexander Wang or something.
Alexander Hamilton.
No, not like that.
No, not like that. Oh, okay.
But
Well, I'll
I
get
don't
back
know
in the
why.
writer's
I
room.
just like, as a fashion girly, and like I don't know what about that scene. I was just like, so good, and they look so good, and like in the pool scene, like they were not wearing t-shirts, and I was just like, dang, this is a lot to process. I'm just fangirling so hard, and I'm not even an ATEEZ like big ATEEZ fan, but this album is by far my favorite ATEEZ title track. I don't think it's their best title track, to be honest, but I think it's my favorite personally, which is kind of interesting. And they're my favorite album of all time that they've come out, because I feel like their older releases were very ATEEZ, and so, which is like a certain sound I won't go into, but this album was like the least like them, and I think that's why I like it.
I see.
It's more like pop and like hip hop
Mhm.
inspired. And
Yeah.
I noticed in the Reddit comments that people were like, "Oh, like I miss this, doesn't sound like them. I miss their old sound." But I was like, that's why I like this so much, just because it's not as ATEEZ as their previous releases. So I've been looping Lemon Drop. I've been looping like Lemon Drop, Killing It by J-Hope, and Bad Influence by 17, which are all these like very like bad boy songs, and it's just it's like the perfect trio to be looping. So anyways, it's been very good.
In regards to your music video, like something briefly that you talked about, the music video, how you wanted the choreography version, it made me think about, so obviously we're not talking about Artemis's release this
Oh,
week, although
yeah.
that was here, but like I looked up the music video and I was like, am I watching, what was it? Is it the choreography version or something version that's like 14 minutes, 15 minutes or something?
Yeah.
And then the club version, which is 3 minutes, and it's just the song or whatever.
It's like cinematic version versus club version.
Cinematic, that's the one. And it's like, I don't understand why I'm having to go, like, I don't know why I'm being presented with a puzzle to find the music video, like the official music video. Like, I don't have a problem with making multiple music videos, because I'm thinking about like New Jeans did with Ditto having A side or B side. They did a lot of that where it's like they had 2 music videos for the same thing, but they would very clear, like A, B. I'm like, okay, this makes sense in my brain. And then this is like cinematic version, club version. This is your kitchen version. This is the version that you play at the grocery store. This is elevator music version. And I'm like, great. What is the official? I want Lemon Drop official MV. I'm like, you know what anyway. That's my rant. That's my small rant. I've been feeling like that's been happening more recently, that they'll come out with multiple versions or whatever, but none of them tell me, like, watch this one. I have to go off the freaking, like, the time duration. I have to go off the number of views. I'm like Sherlock Holmes trying to figure out the official music video. Anyway. All right,
I'll
Spencer.
do this for you, Anthony, so you can take the right video.
Thank you.
Well, I guess that wraps up our discussion on the songs these past 2 weeks. Well, I mean, ATEEZ came out yesterday, as of this recording, but that concludes that. So now it's on to our discussion topic, which is going to be a little bit different this time. It's going to be more of like K-pop scenarios. So I'm going to give the background scenario, and then I will ask each of you a question, not all at once. So like I'll ask Anthony a question, he'll give his response. Then I'll ask Melissa Ann a question, she'll give her response, and then I'll ask Garrett a question. And then I have it kind of separated into like 2 kind of ways. So depending on your answers, it can go one of either 2 ways.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
He's a dungeon master today.
So yeah, I guess. So here's the scenario. Y'all are a K-pop group, and just imagine there's like other members with y'all, but I guess since, right now there's 2 guys and a girl, this is a co-ed group, but imagine there's 6 of y'all in a group or something, but y'all are a K-pop group. And so here's what sets the scene. You are in the midst of a contract renewal and are forced to make a decision or convince the other members of your group. Your group has met levels of success that are different to each one of you. The company leaves it up to anonymous voting to keep the group alive. So Anthony, here is your character.
Disclaimer, I've not been trained in PR, okay? I am not a K-pop idol, so let's take my answers with a grain of salt. Okay, yes, I'm a K-pop idol, and I'm ready to renew my contract. What is it, Spencer?
Okay. You notice that a few of your members are hesitant to renew their contracts due to what they define as lack of success. While you believe the group has been a success and don't want to disappoint the following that you have garnered, what do you say to your members that feel uneasy about renewing their contracts? You think that your next comeback is surely the one that will catapult the group into a global hit.
Okay, so I'm assuming that if these people are thinking that if they think that the group is like not being that successful or whatever, then, well, I need to figure out if that's because they feel like they're not getting enough spotlight, of like it's like a projection type thing. They're like, I don't feel like I'm reaching my full potential, therefore the group is failing. When that's not necessarily the case. Maybe you're being the GOAT, maybe you're in the back maybe you're pulling up, you know, you fill your role, right? Like everyone in a K-pop group is like very meticulously blah, 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 like put in when it's not like a survival show or whatever. But even then, it's like it's all about meshing, right? So I'm sure I need to figure out if they feel like they're underperforming or being underutilized, in which case that can be addressed. But if it's like they're being harsh or critical or whatever, then it's like, bitch, who cares? We are the goats. We are trying to make better and better and better and better and better and better stuff, right? If we have fans and if we're trying to be the best us for our current fans or whatever, then we're also trying to be the best for the next fans, and like we're trying to get more fans. We're trying to be a better, improve not only like ourselves individually, but also the people that were like the group as a whole, right? So I think that just because success currently it like assuming objectively, yeah, we're not doing great, then there's always something that could blow you up. Like we've noticed how like I mean Cat's Eye was like big, but Gnarly like blew up. I'm thinking like how Cupid blew up 50/50. Like all it takes is like one really big thing, right? And then that's it. So
Well,
I think they need to, yeah.
keep in mind that if we're up for contract renewal, it's probably been 7 years without a hit.
Right. So ideally then, or not ideally, presumably then it wouldn't be without a hit. I would think that if they feel like we haven't been successful, that's probably more like they aren't as successful as they think we should have or could have been. Because if we're up for contract renewal, then we've had to have some amount of profitability if the company is like even thinking about renewing us, right? From a business perspective.
True.
If it's up to just the members, then I think our careers are what we make it, and that would be my thing of like, if I'm willing to put in the work and go in or whatever. Obviously, this would be less effective if it were like, oh, I feel like I'm underutilized. I feel like blah blah blah, which is the very, you know, we know in the industry is a very like common occurrence. But like that would have to be addressed a different way. But yeah, anyway, I've been talking for a long time. That's kind of how I view.
No, I definitely feel inspired, so to keep the group together. Okay. But yeah, keep in mind that everybody in the group does think like the level of success has been different. So, Anthony, you thought it has been successful and you're trying to keep the group together. Melissa Ann, after 4, okay, well, I labeled the group as like 4 years, but it could be 7 years as well. After 4 years in your project group, you realize that the K-pop life is not what it's all lived up to. You haven't exactly found the stardom that you were once thinking you'd have as a trainee. The company has contacted you privately about an opportunity to get into acting, which would require that you leave the group. You know that this new direction, combined with your personal following and presence, is surely to make you happier and richer. Do you tell the other members of your new opportunity at the expense of their careers?
Oh my gosh. This is so realistic though, because I've always been selfishly angry at members of groups that I really enjoy that go out and do acting. And like Yuri from It's 9, she was my bias and she just left to do acting, and I was just like, bro, the name doesn't even make sense anymore. You ruined everything. Big Promise 8 here.
Mm-mm.
And
From
just
5 even.
I know, now we're down to 5. So yeah, I like always have had resentment towards. I'm just like, but why? Like you're supposed to like, it's supposed to be a group effort. But then again, like what if they're just like super unhappy and poor? You know, like what am I trying to
But you'll be happier and richer, Melissa Ann. Knowing you're going into acting.
I think from out of principle, after being a K-pop fan all these years and always being upset at members that go off and leave the group and do acting, I think on principle, stay. I think I would tell my members about it. I'd be like, hey, this is what's happening, and maybe we can use this as like a lever to negotiate a better deal because I assume they want to keep us all together. So up our salaries or else I'm leaving, kind of deal. But I think out of principle, I would have to stay. Yeah.
Okay, Garrett. After 4 years, you're the last person to make a decision that will either force the contract renewal of the entire group or face the disbandment. On one hand, you have a member who doesn't want to give up the following that your group has garnered and is trying to convince you to stay with the group, which you have no problem doing. You have enjoyed your time. You like the group. On the other hand, you have another member ready to throw in the towel, but you know that that member is vital to the group, and renewing without them is surely a death sentence to the group. What do you do? Would you suggest a rebrand into a subunit, essentially starting over?
So like we have like our main stardom who wants to throw in the towel, but everybody else wants to keep going, basically.
Yeah.
I guess imagine you're an IVE and Wanyang is like, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Do you think you could, or would you even want to move on, like as a subunit, or would you kind of call it there?
Well, do I like the person? Am I?
Well, I mean, presumably you would like all of the people that are in the group. Like think of it like this. Anthony is trying to convince you to stay in the group. You have no idea about Melissa Ann's private opportunity because she's like the one that's ready to throw in the towel.
Oh,
And so
You're
like
Wanyang, Melissa Ann, you hear that?
Yay! Eating
So,
my
like-
pizza. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Eating your pizza?
Yeah, she
Which
has
ad?
Papa John's.
Oh, for Puppet. Oh, no, I haven't. I've been
Where
seeing
she,
all her
like-
Jim Bim stuff.
She
Oh,
like
yeah, I've been
there's this
seeing a
clip
lot
of
of
her eating pizza and like people are like bashing on her for being a pick me girl because she literally like has the string of cheese and she's like winking and like
yeah.
As if that's not literally her job.
I know.
Like they are paying her to do that.
No. So I'm here with my pizza.
That's tough. But if it's only one person, I feel like I would probably vote for a contract renewal just because everybody else is enjoying their time. And if I've enjoyed my time, then I would want us to stay together. And I'm sure there could be rearrangements for her to like work less if she doesn't want to.
Okay.
But I'm also not sure about my other opportunities. If
Yeah, that was gonna be if I could
I don't have a
add.
contract renewal.
I was like, that's what I was thinking too. Is like if you say like no, I mean you're probably giving up your best chance at continued stardom if you're
Yeah.
not like actually. Well, it's kind of a harsh way of saying it. If you're not a notable member, then you know not necessarily people would be like jumping, you know, at the end of their leash trying to get you to have a solo debut.
Yeah.
Versus Melissa Ann over here, where you know she's trying to do acting and get all these brand deals or whatever, and she's like, "I would be so much better off without you losers," and I'm like, I'm
And
like,
then
you
she
don't have to
ends
be
up wanting
so
to stay
loud.
with the losers.
I'm like, you don't have to be so loud, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. Well, it seems like the group itself has even reached a consensus. The group contract has been renewed. Okay, Anthony. Now that the group contract has been renewed for 3 years, we are counting on you to encourage the group and make the comeback better than ever to reach the global success you talked about. However, the company decided to cut your salaries to minimize the losses if it wasn't as big as you wanted it to be. You decide to make a group comeback that has not been done in a while or done at all, regardless of the group's previous concepts. What kind of concept would you do to get the global audience's attention?
New Jeans clone.
New Jeans clone?
We see it. We will fill in the gap.
New
Yeah.
Jeans clone.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, given the current environment, yeah, you'd be filling the spot.
just instantly, I'm like, all I see is people complaining about, oh, these guys just sound like New Jeans. Oh, these guys just sound like New Jeans. But they're all successful. Literally all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. You know what? Yeah. Mental hospital, R&B. That's what I'm down. That's what I say.
Nice. Okay, Melissa Ann. Now that the group contract has been renewed for 3 years, your private opportunity has been able to prolong your offer up to 1 year. However, you did not accept the contract renewal with excitement. You decide that to get into your actor mindset, you will try to leave the group without making it look obvious that you didn't want to be in it in the first place. You will prepare for the first comeback and any promotions that follow that, up to 1 year of work. Are you going to go on an indefinite hiatus by faking a simple injury and risk being found out by the time you're on the actor set, or will you try to remove yourself from activities and try to get kicked out of the group?
Yeah. I don't want to be kicked out. That would be such a shameful way to go. Dang, this paints me in a bad light. I would just be like, hey, like, for the sake of my mental health, I need to like be on a different environment, you know? So change it up.
Okay, nice.
Anthony's dying.
It was such a funny, like, it's like, imagine you're in the military, and it's like, you don't want to be in the military anymore. Would you rather get discharged or or fake an injury to get medically discharged? And it's like, wow, like, this is not ethical. Anyway.
Interesting. Okay, Garrett. Now that the group has been renewed for 3 years, you are excited about the chance to be on stage again. However, you're upset at the fact that you won't get paid as much. You found out that Melissa Ann has gotten a private opportunity. In order to match what you were being received in your first contract, you risk telling the group of her true intentions of leaving and posting the issue at hand publicly, ruining her and the group's image. To keep it secret, she has agreed to give you some of her pay so that it doesn't become known. In exchange, you are able to help her get out of the group by the 1 year deadline. Do you help her or share her true intentions?
Garrett, please.
I mean, if she trusts me to tell me, or wait, did you say she told me about it?
You
Yeah.
just found out. You
Oh,
found
I
out
found
You
about
heard
out.
it through
it.
the grapevine.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh.
and her true intentions, and if she offered to pay me, then I would keep it secret. I wouldn't expose her because if she's like very serious about acting, then like, as like her, I'm gonna say I'm her best friend, then like, I'm gonna support her in doing that.
Let's
And
go.
like, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Period.
Let's
I get
go.
paid, so.
Hush money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funniest part, is Melissa Ann's literally giving hush money payments the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I feel like that
But-
would be a cool song name. Hush money.
Hush money, yeah,
Hush
low key.
puppies.
All right, guys, who's getting into song production?
Me.
For real.
I'll talk
All right,
about an
bet.
Alexander Wang t-shirt somehow in there.
Anthony will rap about Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah. I'm waiting in the wings for you.
I'm feeling creative. I'm really gonna come up with a song called Hush Money. I'll send it to y'all when I'm done.
Okay, bet.
Like just the lyrics. I can't come
Create
up
a
with the
rap
melody.
part for me. I'll rap
Okay,
it
bet
for
we
you.
can get yeah, okay, make the lyrics and
Okay.
then we'll send it to Mickey in the server. He does sound stuff.
Oh no
And
way!
he can make a beat. Let's do it.
That'd be cool.
I'm
Yeah.
down. Okay,
That's the
give me some
multi-life-
time to cook. Give me some time to cook.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let her cook.
Let me cook.
But yeah, no, that's all I have.
That
I
was
just wanted
so
to
fun.
see what y'all were thinking, and these were just kind of thinking, like me thinking, what's happening behind the scenes that in a
Right.
K-pop group that like potentially the public never has access to. So
Right.
you're looking at like what I'm thinking happens in the groups, which looks kind of negative, but I mean, I guess you like never know like what
Mhm.
happens. So especially with like group texts. Like I'm thinking of like Vicha and everything that's like happened
Yeah.
with them. Like you just don't know what's happening behind the scenes
Right.
and like in personal group chats or personal text messages. So, but yeah, just kind of K-pop scenarios to think about.
K-pop.
Yay.
And then like I have like questions if the contract were not renewed, but maybe we'll do that another time. So
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a Model UN type thing. Like, that's cool.
But yeah.
All right.
That's all I have.
Well, that's our episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember to follow us on our Instagram at multilife.pod, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.